You're about to get pregnant!
From beautiful downtown Boulder at the foot of the Rockies, it's sex, God, and rock and roll!
Tonight, Stuart discovers his body is changing, and Italians do it in the rectory. A love song for Ann Coulter. Can parasites make you sexy? Plus, will red wine save your life? Now cross the street and open your gown. It's America's favorite punk monk, Stuart Davis!
Party like a pop star,
Thank you. Thank you. I have a confession to make. I found my first gray hair the other day. You're probably thinking, but you're bald. Yes, I shaved my head. In fact, I shaved my entire body. And that's what makes this discovery a little more alarming. I was grooming my scandal bundle when I noticed one gray hair just above the fun factory. I gasped and squinted. I decided to ignore it. That's why they're called private parts, I assured myself. A few days later, my wife stopped by to chat as I was taking a bath. So Cindy's gonna bring cake on Friday, and if we rent the chairs for, oh my God, you have a gray hair on your baby maker, she exclaimed. The secret was out. A less enlightened version of myself might have let vanity take over. The old me would have been embarrassed. That was before I had the wisdom of the body. In fact, the sliver of silver lends a distinguished air to the lair down there. My crotch is finally showing the outward signs of its inward wisdom. I may only be 37 years old, but my groin has lived in dog years. I'm a rock and roll poster child. I have the mind of someone half my age and the balls of someone twice my age. That's because my privates have always been public, meaning they love other people. From early on, my no-no said yes, yes to everything and everyone. Exotic lands, strange customs, new friends. My genitals were like a foreign exchange student that never went home. But chasing what's new can make one old. In fact, science does not yet understand the paranormal effects of such horniness. In my case, girlfriends have reported space-time anomalies around my scrotum, often describing eerie experiences similar to those of the Bermuda Triangle. Unzipping my pants has triggered missing blocks of time. Some say entire sexual airplanes have mysteriously vanished between my thighs. And I know why. When I hit puberty, my first chakra and my second chakra merged into one through some ominous magnetism. These two incandescent orbs at the base of my vertical assembly fused and then imploded like a binary star system in my jockstrap. My subtle anatomy was changed forever. I now had a black hole just above my coccyx. A gravitational singularity. And that's probably why I told my wife I had a gray pube at the age of 37. Listen, nature provides us with cues. A baby knows how to breastfeed. Adolescent loins instinctively grind. Wisdom, the body. I thought. Across cultures, gray hair is a symbol of wisdom. Gazing at my gonads, I guessed it was time for my crotch to start teaching. Teaching others, sharing the hard-won wisdom this groin has gained from half a lifetime of pain and pleasure. Wisdom like, although candles help create an arousing atmosphere, hot wax is excruciating to a penis. I learned this so you wouldn't have to. My one gray hair seemed to say to future generations. Wisdom. The wisdom to know that no matter how cool you look having really rough sex, no matter how vital it makes you feel, you can break your penis. It happens. If you're a girl and you think this lesson doesn't apply to you, let me rephrase that. You can break someone's penis. The first time you accidentally slip outside the envelope and experience your boner bump, then bend, then almost break, the first time that happens, pay attention. Listen to the wisdom of your body telling you not to do that. Do not bend the penis. It's flexible, it's ductile, even resilient, but it was never meant to wrangle at a right angle. Remember when your mother told you if you cross your eyes, they'd stay that way, but it turned out to be a fib? Well, this is different. Unless you want your poker to point like it was painted by Picasso, unless you want it to look like a calculus problem God couldn't solve, keep it straight. Wisdom. Wisdom like having sex with multiple partners at the same time is wonderful. But the psychological and emotional entanglements are challenging. These challenges can be bypassed entirely if one takes extra care to ensure that none of the participants speak the same language. When in Europe, the further east one travels, the easier this becomes. Secret wisdom of impersonal congress. I mean literally having sex with a non-personified partner. Try making love to something that's not anthropomorphic, like the weather. A thunderstorm is a great place to start. Abstain from sex long enough to get really horny. Watch the Weather Channel. When a storm arrives, array and splay your limbs in an open field or a forest floor. Now, let that thunderstorm fuck your brains out. Foreplay, high winds, increased air pressure. Heavy petting, discharge of electrical current. Big finish, a wall of thunder over and under. Remember, a storm won't behave like a human lover. The weather's not gonna slow down if you feel like things are moving too fast. Once you're laying in a wheat field with your panties around your ankles, don't expect the lightning to put its bolt back in the clouds. When you're humping the cosmic canopy, yes means yes and no means yes. That's the wisdom of the body. You're listening to me now and you're feeling burning envy. You're wondering if you too might one day become a mentor. Listen to me now, listen to your mentor. If you study my life, you too might avoid spilling hot wax on your genitals. You may avoid breaking your boner or breaking someone's boner. You could have a three-way with a Romanian and a Polak in a disco outside Prague. You may even do the nasty with a thunderstorm on a South Dakota wheat plain. If you do, when it's over, lift your head and take a glimpse at your ravaged genitals. You might just find one gray pube. That's the wisdom of the body. We have a killer show for you tonight. Let's get the news from sex, God, rock and roll. Italians can't stop, China can't pop. Planet Earth has an uneven distribution of orgasms, says a new study. A survey reveals that Chinese couples are the least likely to climax during sex. So which populations are most likely to pop? It's a menage a trois tie between Italy, Spain, and Mexico, all boasting a 66% orgasm rate. When notified of the findings, China bridled, retorting, I'm pretty sure we've had about 1.3 billion orgasms in the past century. Confession booty! An Italian couple were recently detained by police for having sex in a confession booth. A bishop conducted a mass of reparation in the cathedral to purify the holy place where the sacrilege occurred. That holy place, the rectory. That's my wife. I now pronounce you brother and sister. A pair of randy Brits who were unaware they were actually twins accidentally married each other. The two felt an immediate, powerful attraction. They'd been adopted by separate families and did not learn of their twinship until after legally married. The couple issued a statement Friday explaining, "We're no different than any married couple, okay? We met online in an Oedipus Rex chat room. We sleep in bunk beds. We speak a secret twin language when we make love, and we share identical DNA." Egypt, misogynistic mecca. Women in Egypt report that veiling themselves increases harassment. The United States and Britain have both issued warnings to female visitors regarding sexual attacks and harassment in Egypt. Egyptian men were only emboldened by the warnings, telling potential female tourists, "Come on, baby, show Egypt your tits. Wiggle your ass to Cairo, now don't make Egypt angry, baby." Star Whores! A private company selling space trips has declined an offer to make a porno in space. The sex tape would have featured gravity-free sex, so for now, humans have still not had sex in space. That's not technically true, said John Glenn and Edgar Mitchell. No, it's not, agreed millions of people involved in hybrid breeding with extraterrestrials. Also, Earth is in space, the host thought to himself, so technically all sex is space sex, which means my controversial astronaut training program is legitimate, okay, NASA? By the way, good news, you can't catch VD in space. Bad news, you can catch space VD. And the solar flare-ups are agonizing. God! To be again or not to be again, that's the referendum. The Dalai Lama has proposed holding a referendum among 14 million followers around the world on whether he should be reincarnated. His proposal was designed to thwart the Chinese government's plans to select the next Dalai Lama. When surveyed, 100% of Tibetans said it would be great if the Dalai Lama reincarnated as, let's see, maybe the president of China? Man versus bot. Machine-like humans are testing human-like machines for signs of life at the University of Reading. The Lebner Prize has issued awards for its 18th annual competition pitting artificial forms of intelligence against people. The experiment measures the ability of highly advanced robots to pass themselves off as human. The winner for the 18th year in a row, Ken Wilber. Vatican! Pope Benedict has reaffirmed the Catholic Church's condemnation of artificial birth control, a position that has driven millions of people away from the faith. The message came 2 months after an appeal for a retraction by 60 Catholic groups who said the Church's stance had been catastrophic, endangering women's lives and exposing millions of people to the risk of contracting AIDS. Unmoved, the Pope said, "People must find natural ways to inhibit sexual urges, like looking at pictures of the Pope." I don't know. It makes me horny. The Virgin maybe? Believers began assembling at a Springfield hospital to get a glimpse of markings on a window, which some believe to be an apparition of the Virgin Mary. Asked to comment on the crowd gathered below her window, the Virgin Mary replied, "What crowd of people? I don't see a crowd of people. That's like the sun reflecting off some sticks and garbage. Come on." Palin witch trials! A video has emerged on YouTube showing Sarah Palin in a church service denouncing witchcraft. The Alaskan Coven of Witches issued a statement saying, "Don't
Don't forget who got you elected, Sarah!
Bible math. A recent survey of 35,000 Americans showed that 70% of Americans and 57% of Christian evangelical Americans believe there are many roads to eternal life. 4/5 of the 70% added, wait, which number, what group am I again? Before and after birth. The exiting Bush administration made a final maneuver to redefine pregnancy. A draft regulation would have reclassified popular forms of contraception, making them abortion. Pressed to define what would not be considered abortion under the strange measure, a White House spokesperson said off record, "Read the Bible. Anal sex is still the safest, most enjoyable form of contraception." Abracadabra! The University of Southampton is launching the world's largest ever study of near-death experiences. "It's pretty intense," said the leading researcher. "We're going to have to almost kill a lot of people." Smells like clean spirit. Researchers say burning incense alleviates anxiety and depression. The new discovery by scientists relates how a component in frankincense activates TRPV3 channels in the brain. Up until now, incense has only been known and used for millennia in cultures around the world. Thanks to cutting-edge science, incense may one day become as available and popular as it already is.
Rock and roll!
Gary Glitter, pop pedophile. Gary Glitter, an English pop star who sold over 18 million records, is headed home. Glitter was convicted of downloading child pornography, expelled from Cambodia for suspected child sexual abuse, then convicted of child sexual abuse in Vietnam. He was refused entry by 19 countries. The singer turned to Buddhism. Buddhism turned away from the singer, pretending to see someone else it knew in the monastery. Conservatives love liberal rock, and liberal rockers hate it. The rock band Heart issued a statement from its website condemning the use of their song Barracuda at the Republican National Convention, continuing a long history of liberal songwriters who object to their songs being used by Republican campaigns. John Cougar Mellencamp, Jackson Browne, and Bruce Springsteen have all gone through it. I'd like to take this opportunity to let Republicans know that I not only grant them permission to use my songs, I implore them to do so. Here's one I wrote for Ann Coulter.
Yeah, I'm the badass cannibal of this alchemical carnival. Stuffing babies into catapults to bomb the cathedrals. I'm kicking on your camels through the eye of the needle. I am love.
And now it's time for this week's installment of But What Do Rock Stars Think About? The financial crisis. Jesse Carmichael, keyboardist for the band Maroon 5, is finally weighing in on the financial crisis. He writes in his MySpace blog that the specific terms of this proposal are dangerous. They give too much power to one branch of government. The federal government responded saying, if we need financial advice from a keyboard player, we'll call Keith Jarrett. Okay, Maroon 5 thumbs? Face full of fist! Richard Fuld, disgraced former CEO of Lehman Brothers, was physically assaulted while working out. The much-hated man who split with $300 million as America's economy collapsed was sucker punched in the face while running on the treadmill in the office gym. Authorities are not sure what provoked the attack, but speculate it might have something to do with the Richard Fuld-shaped bruise America discovered in its rectum a few days earlier. I drink to live. People who drink red wine every day are 60% less likely to develop lung cancer, a study has found. Research shows cancer risk decreases with red wine drinking at a 2% drop with each additional glass of red wine a man drinks per month, proving I became immune to lung cancer my freshman year at Mankato State. No worries. Money for nothing. For his birthday this year, Lil Wayne's record label gave him a Louis Vuitton briefcase full of $1 million in cash. Despite the financial crisis in America, his party was a lavish affair, featuring an ice sculpture stuffed with $100 bills. Meanwhile, in Taos, New Mexico, Joan Baez celebrated the onset of menopause with friends who gave her a hemp backpack stuffed with pot brownies. American Idol? Taylor Hicks has announced plans to go indie on his next album. The former American Idol champ was inspired to go indie shortly after he was forced to go indie when dropped by his record label. His label was responding to the collapse of the music industry, which precipitated the implosion of the US economy and subsequently the world economy. Hey, added Hicks from the studio, the leg bone's connected to the ankle bone. And that's the news from sex, God, and rock and roll. Now, a word from our commercial sponsor. You're fat, but do you have to be? How do celebrities eat and drink whatever they want without gaining weight?
And shapewear.
They do, and so can you.
Shapewear.
No pills, no exercise, no surgery. Too good to be true or too good to pass up. We guarantee you'll lose 10, 20, even 50 pounds doing nothing. You've heard of tapeworms, the gut-dwelling parasites so trendy among slender vertebrates. Now there's in shapeworms, the weight loss wonder worms that live inside you and help you lose weight.
shapewear.
Get the gaunt, listless look of movie stars and fashion icons. You'll look better and you'll feel better about people looking at you.
Users may notice segments of shapeworm in bathroom stool. Possible side effects include nausea, weakness, loss of appetite, abdominal pain, diarrhea, weight loss, and severe anemia. Shapeworm larvae may breach intestines and form cysts in other tissue, causing organ damage or invasive infection resulting in fever, masses, or lumps, or neurological symptoms when brain is involved. Shapeworm. Because if you're not skinny,
You're fat.
Somebody buy me a drink and get this ritual on. Let the deity freak prove the deity wrong. I'm too clumsy to dance, too ecstatic to care if I'm losing my mind, because it went everywhere. Deep space is ready to sneeze. What we believe is bouncing off the altar. Party like a pop star, make a lot of love, detonate
you so much, friends.
With a bruise in the shape of my person.
You want to see more? A lot more? Go to sexgodrockandroll.com. You can also follow us on Twitter.
Are you gonna roll your eyes at me? I guess that's what stings. You know I came to help myself to everything. Do you wanna take a shot